Gonna go ahead and pop right into it right now with Ragnarok spawning up here in the top right-hand corner and Revival. His opponent down in the bottom left. TSL Revival.
You didn't even give me a time to use the camera zoom. I'm trying to do that a little bit more as the observer, but one more time.
Okay. In the bottom left-hand corner of Daybreak, the blue Zerg player from Team SCV Life, it is Revival. That was not very good Korean voice.
It's okay, Ben.
You want to do Ragnarok? Let's hear your Ragnarok Korean voice.
Well, someone else has to introduce, right? Because it's like Tasteless does the talk up, and then another voice comes chiming in. So you have to introduce Ragnarok.
All right, guys. In the top right-hand corner of Daybreak, the red Zerg player teammates with Revival, it is
TSL Ragnarok.
Pretty good.
Although I rolled my R.
Pretty good.
It was like a mix of like Korean and a little bit of Spanish.
I like the way MC does it.
MC does it?
Yeah.
He introduces his players?
Yeah.
What does he
does it in the K-pop girl voice. Ragnarok.
You remember when GSL used to do that? Like they had the K-pop stars that like would do really corny
like the water
like
park and they splash water up on there.
They like kick up water and then like run up to the camera and be like, "Starter bomber." Eat.
Revival.
They do like a little cat face. Oh, can we do that next series maybe? Like
I think we should get Lorne Lees to do that for all of our players
when
next
we introduce
season.
things. Oh, please, yes, I will laugh so much. Guys, it is Daybreak, a map that you can go hatchery first. It's very safe, distances are long, and that's why we've kind of been off topic. But for those of you who have, may be watching ZVZ for the first time in a long time, this matchup in general has stabilized a lot. In fact, most people are going defensive Baneling so that way they can tech and drone up very carefully. And then all the center of attention has been around the third base, whether or not Zergs can establish that. As you can see, one of the big key factors to Revival's macro comeback was just that Ragnarok couldn't simply produce as much as Revival did once Ragnarok didn't have it.
The one key factor was Ragnarok screwed up that attack.
Yeah, but I mean, after a while, he was on 2 base versus 3,
he donated units, man, and when you donate units in ZVZ, games go bad. It was a really poorly executed attack, and I really don't mean to be like throwing Ragnarok under the bus there, but it was just he was wasting units. He was being very careless. An attack where that should have killed the third base, that should have supply blocked Revival, that should have put Ragnarok way ahead, just kind of ended up costing him. It was
fair enough.
It was very poorly executed.
It's fine, Ben. I was trying to say though that if you go for the units early on though, right? And because I mean, if your opponent sits on hatchery, because the way Greetorp always tells me is that larva is another resource. It's not just minerals and gas. And if you just have an extra hatchery, those things eventually pile up over time. Because the big thing was Revival was able to hold the counterattacks, right? Like, I mean, sorry, the reinforcement points, because he had more roaches popping out and flanking. And then like Ragnarok was like dancing like back and forth.
Yeah, but he would have never held that if Ragnarok had just fought.
Yeah, I agree.
So I mean, yes, good job by Revival of building the units that he needed, certainly. But well, we could go back and look at that fight again. And
no,
Ragnarok is like dancing his roaches the whole time. It was bad.
I agree with what you're saying, Ben. If to summarize it, and I think that's why Ragnarok has to kind of go back to the drawing board and say, well, maybe I shouldn't move my units around so much.
Maybe I should just A-move.
Maybe I should just let my units... You know what? I gave this analogy also. Sometimes when you play other games, just click on the unit once, man. No need to click on it 600 times. Because I do that too, you know, like sometimes when you feel like you really have to kill that one unit, like for example, back in the day, as a Protoss player when Thor rushes were very popular, everyone keeps clicking on the Thor. Just click it once.
Well, it's not that you want to click the unit a million times, it's that you want to click and then click behind it so that you can keep up, right? You want to keep moving. And that's where you get the... that's where mistakes are made, and I think that's kind of what Ragnarok did.
Well, Ragnarok needs to slow a little bit down. Another player that actually struggled with that kind of style, Ben, was Vibe. Vibe said that he played a little too fast before, because Vibe would easily be in the 350 range when he was playing Zerg, maybe a year ago. And then he said that one of the biggest things that he had to learn was just to play more efficiently. Don't click 3 times, click once. Don't necessarily like scroll around, just be deliberate with your movement, and that way maybe you play a little bit slower, but you play way more effectively.
Yeah, I mean, Vibe was one of those players who would cruise at 300 APM when nothing was happening, and then dip to 150 when he had the micro. As we see, Ling's Actually, a Ling trading with a Baneling in the main base of Revival there.
Quick Spire out of Ragnarok.
Once again.
Likes those mutas. But, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go directly into a Roach Warren afterwards. We've seen Zergs not really commit too much to mutas unless you're Sen. Sen loves mutas in ZVZ.
He loves mutas, period.
He loves mutas in every matchup, in ZVP and ZVT. In fact, I feel like every series I've casted of Sen this season has been including mutas in some way or form.
It's cool, man. It's an exciting way to play. Mutas here against Revival should be pretty effective. We can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Overlords out on the map. That could all be killed by these mutas. The Spire's not going to be done for about 30 more seconds, though. Interestingly, Revival is also trying to go Spire, and this is going to create a very fun dynamic where it's muta against muta. And in these cases, you have to really mind your upgrades. You have to really mind your muta count, because if you engage with 9 mutas against 8, or 8 mutas against 9, you're going to lose everything, and it's not going to be close. So.
Yeah, it's like Phoenixes versus Phoenixes too. Like, sometimes you might think, oh yeah, he's got like 8 Phoenixes, I got 7. Maybe I can engage.
Oh no, Ragnarok! Why? What are you doing, Ragnarok? He's getting +1 attack upgrade for his mutas.
Oh, I thought something crazy was going on. I was clicking all over the map, man.
This is crazy. This is the worst thing you can do.
I don't know exactly why, Ben. Can you explain it?
So, and Revival's doing the same thing. What?
Is this the new Korean thing to do, maybe?
Yeah, this does not make sense.
Maybe
to
it's a TLZL Zerg thing to do.
In the conventional wisdom states that you always in muta versus muta get the armor upgrade, because in getting the armor upgrade you negate the glaive, right? The splash. Mutas, when they attack, they deal splash damage. The glaive bounces 3 times. By getting the armor upgrade, you negate damage 3 times. But the attack upgrade doesn't apply to the bounces. It only applies to that first shot. So your scaling is much different if you get armor versus if you get attack, and it's just an astronomical difference.
Oh.
Muta versus muta when you have attack versus someone that has armor.
I never knew that. I didn't know that glaives don't scale with attack damage. So that's really interesting that both of them went though. But again, I would like to maybe bring up the point that these guys are teammates and maybe they do share the same builds.
There's well, there's clearly some method to the madness here that I'm not aware of, but definitely the practiced and accepted school of thought right now is get armor first. So I'm going to be asking questions of all my pro gamer friends. It's just it's a small thing, a really small thing that is so against what you're used to seeing. 12 mutas are on the map against 12 mutas, so completely even muta counts right now, and it's going to be completely even upgrades. One thing that Revival's already doing is he has Zerglings with his mutas. This is also important because that too will negate the bouncing, and this could be why you're seeing a plus attack upgrade. If the Lings are getting hit by the glaive and not the mutas, then maybe that's the logic that these guys are using. I don't actually know what to expect here. Big fight's going to unfold. Ragnarok attacking into Revival. Ragnarok does have a couple more mutas, and because of that, I think we should see a pretty one-sided fight. That's exactly what happens in the air battle, and Revival is running for the hills.
13 to 12, but of course just a few mutas popping out, and that adds to Ragnarok's count, so he has to back off. Don't want to lose the mutas. I mean, they are very costly because of how much you delay your own tech. But, I mean, it comes down to who will be the first person to come off of mutas as well, but the other person's a little bit too scared to.
You can't at this point. Both these guys are locked in. It's going to be Muta-Ling for the rest of the game. Because the second that you stop producing mutas, you lose control. Or the second you stop producing Zerglings, you lose control. So these guys cannot tech switch at this point in the game. Unless somebody makes a mistake, and a couple mutas will go down here. Nice catch by Ragnarok. Picks off one more Mutalisk, nearly killing another. If that one low health muta even tries to turn, he's going to be dead. But Ragnarok will disengage. Just going to kill an Overlord instead. Small Zergling skirmish out in the middle of the map at the same time. This is a small Revival victory. But with the Spinecrawler and Banelings at each expansion, Ragnarok is at no risk of really losing anything to Zergling run-bys. Muta count in the skies now 23 to 18. Ragnarok is lengthening his advantage, and also with the 5 drone lead is going to continue to outproduce his opponent, albeit not by much.
Ragnarok trying to take a 4th base, establish more map control. He does have the superior Muta Flock. Just ever so slightly. Revival, a couple of his Mutas tail off, and that's going to give Ragnarok a huge momentum advantage. Oh, Revival just lost an incredible amount of Mutas, Ben.
Yes, he did, and this game's spiraling out of control for Revival. Ragnarok will win one more big fight in the skies, and I think that's probably just going to be GG. The main base has been breached. Queen will fall. Both guys are getting armor upgrades now, but it's not going to matter, man. All the drones going to die. Revival knows what's up. GG gets called, and this series is now tied up at 1 each.
Very well played by Ragnarok. Overall, I think
I am so curious right now about the +1 attack instead of the plus. I want to be like messaging Stefano and be like, hey, why would this happen? Stefano's going to say, I don't know, I just build roaches and infestors. So maybe I'll
maybe just roaches.
Maybe I'll message Nurchio instead.
And then maybe you find out Nurchio's been doing it for months, and finally these are ripping off his build once again. Guys, game was brought to you by Epson, the #1 projector brand worldwide. Check them out at epson.com/projectors for more details. While we get ready for game number 3 between Ragnarok and Revival, the winner moves on to the semifinal, or the round of 4, right? Is it the round of 4?
Which is the semifinal.
That's right. Okay.
The round of 2 is the final.
Round of 4 is the semifinals. Keep it together, Frodan. We'll be back after this. Don't go anywhere. This is the NASL.